Okay. Hey everyone. This is Calvin. I'm talking to the band Narbona. Can you guys kind of introduce yourselves?
Sure, my name's Stuart Billy. I play the drums.
What's up? My name is Unity Billy. I play the bass guitar and backup vocals.
Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Lestat Billy. I'm the main guitarist as well as main vocalist.
Yeah. Thanks again for talking to me, guys. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the band. I know I just heard about you guys recently. How did the band start?
The band started about 2020, right around the time the pandemic hit. My sons were barely learning to play the guitar. They were playing guitar, listening to metal. They were still getting that early vibe of being little musicians. And once the pandemic came, I really wanted to focus on their skills. Wanted to work on music, and yeah, it sounded around the pandemic.
Awesome. How did you guys get to play the instruments you guys play?
Oh man, mainly from our dad over here. Basically, music's just always been a part of our life and everything. If it wasn't him playing guitar or anything, we would hear in his stereo in the shop, Slayer and everything like that. And it was just really the guitar sounds and everything that I used to listen to, which was just Slayer and all that. That just drew me in. And guitar was seriously something that I was just interested in, just picking up as an instrument. So yeah, there's my influence on there.
My influence came since I was a little kid, just growing up around my dad, and he just played music a lot. I remember every time he cleans up, he puts on stereo. Every time we're working outside, he puts on the stereo or listening to metal, either Slayer or Hypocrisy. And once I first got my guitar and my bass guitar, I started playing it, and I just started listening to the music. And the more I listened to it, I decided to do something that I know I can do.
Yeah, awesome. I guess when you guys started playing together, I guess what were some of the main influence for Narbona starting out and now?
Oh man, the main influence for Narbona has always been Slayer. Slayer is one band that's just it runs deep, man. It runs deep with us. I mean, that's one band that spoke to us as a family. First concert that I got to take my kids to was the Repentless tour. That was with Lestat. I took him to that one. Unity was still a little too young to go see them, and they came back and they were doing they were ending it all. They were doing the end up tour, and me and my sons took them there. And once I saw that, I saw the expressions on their face. I saw just seeing these guys live, knowing the music that they grew up with and hearing it for the first time. It took them on another level. And once I saw that, I knew they needed to let some of their own personal metal out.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, when I started doing this, I guess, podcast and just kind of talking to bands, I kind of got the idea after I saw the Slayer farewell tour in Phoenix.
Yeah,
the Lamb of God and Amon Amarth. Yeah, I remember I went to the show. I was just really pumped after I left. I got home. I was all still energized.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I was living by myself, and then I just started recording myself about kind of talking about the show and just how just how sick it was. And yeah, so that was probably that was the last time I saw them, now that they're retired.
Well, what's cool is their ending was our beginning, man, because it united us, all of us, to really want to be carrying on that type of legacy, but on our level, our community, where we live, and yeah, man.
Yeah. Oh, I think we talked about it before we started recording, but or I guess, where are you guys based out of?
We're out of Nahadishkish, New Mexico. It's about 12 miles west of Crown Point. It's about 5 miles east of Standing Rock, right in between. We've been living on the reservation for about the last 8 years. Before that, we grew up in Fort Wingate and Gallup. Moved around quite a bit, but within the last 8 years is when we, call home now, Nahadishkish. So that's what we represent.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, like I said, I'm out of Fort Defiance, so I'm yeah, I kind of this is all kind of like becoming more familiar with me. I moved out here in 2020, so
Oh, okay, cool.
yeah, before I was in Phoenix, so
It's a transition, dude. For real.
yeah,
The way they think, where everything is done around here, it's a total transformation from the city life, you know.
I think, yeah, just driving. I think like I didn't realize like, yeah, just like how fortunate it is to have like a vehicle that works. Like,
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, we know that one well.
yeah, because like in Phoenix, like I remember my truck would break down. I would just take an Uber to work or
Or the bus. Or
yeah,
the
or
ride,
the
you know?
light rail, yeah, and then like it was nothing. But now it's like shit. Like if I don't know, if something happens, like I'm like stuck until my
for
car
real.
gets repaired. I don't know.
Yep, we know that one well, man.
Yeah, it's tough, but yeah, and then even like going to like concerts and shows around, like I really have to plan it out like months ahead. Yeah, the main places I go to is like Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys just did a show in Albuquerque, right?
Yeah, we just finished up it was actually a really unique show. It was with Destroy Chasm, and we were co-headlining with him. But what made it unique was that there was 13 hip-hop performers that all were there, and we were the only metal band. And from the bands that we hang out with, a lot of they wanted to share their horror stories with us, so we were kind of like, we were really anxious to see how this show was going to be, man. You know, yeah, we were really concerned about this show. But once we got up there, once we set up our gear, once we started playing, man, like the whole room, the environment, everything just changed all at once. The energy changed. We had quite a few mosh pits. We had people in the front headbanging. We had people screaming. The top balcony was full. Everybody was out there standing there. Everybody rushed up. They were listening to our songs. Man, it was intense for us to see that, and also hear the screaming, hear everybody giving us that response back. So the energy was wild. So to be honest, we're still high from that, dude. Like, totally, for real, we're still high from that one.
Yeah, it's awesome. So that was the most recent show. Like what? I guess when was the first show you guys played? I know it was fairly recent. You guys started.
Oh man, we just started last year. Our first show was the day before Santa Fe Indian Market, and our friend who runs Coolness Promotions, who actually did the show that we just finished, was the one who got us that gig. And it was the same thing. It was hip hop performers. It was at a skating rink and a skateboard rink, not a skating rink. Let's put in the difference there. But yeah, we jammed out with them, and it was our first show. We didn't know what to expect. We weren't really much of a band, and we didn't know how to go about it as a band. We just knew songs, and we kind of just, man, we like towards the last week, we were like really pushing to close a lot of these songs that we didn't even know the ending to, you know. So yeah, it was the first time we did something like that. So yeah.
Yeah. Since you guys started playing more shows, have you guys been like writing more like new music or?
Yeah, actually, my son Unity here finished up a song called "The Observer." We just recently finished that about a month ago, and we got to perform that over at the Timeout Lounge down in Tempe. Yeah, it's one thing that we're noticing is playing these live shows, being able to play live in front of people. It's been really, our focus has been on the instruments and focusing on the music. It's one thing to create a name and pass it around, but to us, we're about the real deal. If you're gonna talk the talk, you better walk the walk. Yeah. So for us, it's all about the music, and my emphasis for this is just focus on it. I'm an artist. I make jewelry for a living. I've been doing it for quite a while, and from my personal experience, it comes down to you just putting a good work ethic, having a good work ethic, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, yeah, you guys are new, but did you guys have other bands, or were you part of other bands before this?
No, actually, yeah, the kids are they're pretty young, so this is
cool.
their first band. Mine, back in high school, I started a band called Bloodshed. We were one of the first death metal bands in the Gallup area. We're from Fort Wingate. A lot of my friends that we hung around with played the drums. I played the bass, and I sang also. we got to a certain degree, but it was the worth ethic. Nobody really took it serious. We were finishing up high school. Everybody had their own definition of what they wanted to be as adults, and everybody went their own direction. So I kind of put that aside, carried on with life, and just I didn't bring it up until years later, until like I said, I started seeing the glow from these guys when they were listening to metal. Pretty soon it wasn't just listening to dad's heavy metal on the radio. It was like, can we listen to Slayer? Can we listen to some Hypocrisy? Hey, what's that Deicide song? That one crazy song that comes off the Legion album. Like, oh, okay, this one right here, and then, once I started hearing that, I started putting things together. And my main thing for me as a parent is family, and one thing that I'm not advocating like sobriety, but one thing that was very important to the change, and especially in this band, was the sobriety part of it. And and we just started uniting each other on the metal front as a family, and that's what keeps us together pretty much.
Yeah. No, that's cool. You mentioned the bands that you guys all got into. I can definitely hear some Deicide in some of the songs I heard you guys online. Yeah.
A lot of them. One band that we really would say that's an influence is probably Hypocrisy. Hypocrisy to us is there's Slayer and then there's Hypocrisy, man. I mean that band like changed the way I thought of the way the whole metal scene was about. You know what I'm saying? With the way their tempo was, the way they bring in the synths, the way they have the scream in, where they have the brutal beats. Yeah. It was definitely an influence.
Yeah, I dig them. I think they're probably I think now it's popular, but I think they were like one of the first bands I noticed that did like sci-fi in their
absolutely, dude.
art.
They're like the earliest bands you didn't. They're one of the bands you didn't really listen to. They're one of those really.
I was in 8th grade when I first heard them. Yeah, and it was off the Death Is Just the Beginning compilation album, and I had some bros that were Acoma, and they were just straight death metal, dude, like heavy underground. And I remember them, rolling up a J and just putting that tape in and just sitting there and watching that, and then watching Monstrosity, seeing, the early George Corpse Grinder stuff. It was intense, man. It was intense.
Yeah. I mean, I've only heard a couple of the Hypocrisy albums, and I've always wanted to see them live, but
that was killer. We saw them last year. We saw them last year in April, dude. It was awesome, man.
We saw them at the same place we went.
Yeah, at the Launchpad. We saw them at the Launchpad where we played at.
Awesome. Yeah. How does it go about with you guys? I think you guys are like the only family-based metal band. How do you guys go about like practicing and like getting shows booked and all that?
Well, at this moment, practice to us right now is like religion. We practice almost nearly every day. We're nothing else. All we do is practice. We like I said, we just toning in on our craft, getting out there. And I have a huge following from Facebook with a lot of people I grew up with who are part of the metal scene, but also I have a lot of friends that are in the art scene who listen to all types of music. So what helped us grow was that basically from that too. It really helped us from social media.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a big thing now.
Yeah, because once people saw the direction that we were going with the metal, they started hearing little clips of us playing. I would record us playing, and they would hear a clip of it, and then we would do a whole song. And after that, we started getting people like, "Where's your album? Where's your demos at? Where are you guys playing at? Blah 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 blah." And we started creating this hype. And once we got the first show with Katrina back in Indian Market, dude, right after that we got another show. What was the second show? No, it was the Rock the Vote and Through with Testify, Born in Winter. That was an amazing show. War Motor, shout out to those guys, definitely. It became like once that first show happened, they heard it because I posted the video on Facebook. Once people heard what we were capable of doing, that was it, dude. We started booking shows like every other weekend.
Yeah.
Right now, it's like to the point where we have a free weekend coming up, and then on the 25th, we're heading down to Houston, Texas. So we're going to be in Houston, Texas, playing over at the famous BFE Rock Club. Then we get a weekend off from there, and then we come back to Gallup, and we got a double show, Saturday and Sunday show coming up during the Easter weekend. So yeah, it's picking up, man, definitely.
Yeah. I'm guessing you guys are still in school.
Me, I'm in high school.
Okay.
I'm a senior. This is my last year. I have
okay.
my last year. I have a few more months left of school, and then once I'm out, I'm basically on my own after that.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, how do you balance like school and like the band?
Let's see. It was a little difficult at first because when we were
one thing is there's no shows if it's not local around here. There's no shows Monday through Thursdays. Fridays and Saturdays are fine, but Sundays, if they're out there, school comes first.
Yeah, that's very important.
Yeah, it comes first. So
it's one of
as a
the.
parent, I just know that.
Besides, one of the things that I always tell my friends or everybody around me, nobody realized how important school is. Although it's all it's just something else that most people really resent.
Mm-hmm.
I tell them school is very important because with knowledge is hardcore power. You can't do anything without it. So when I was starting off, it was real difficult because it was my school and the band, and I wanted to do things in school, but I want this band to progress higher and forward, And when it was really hard to decide what to do, but then my dad was he was good at giving me advice on what to do, what's gonna be happening, and how it's gonna go,
The hardest one was football.
Yeah, it was football.
He had the last couple of weeks.
What was it?
He couldn't make it because of shows, and because of that, they wouldn't allow him to go to the game, and they wouldn't allow him to play towards the end. So, but that was a sacrifice he hadn't made, which we were definitely appreciative.
Yeah,
it was a big one for him because it was a heartbreaker.
Oh yeah, I wanted to play, but this is why I love playing in front of people. I love playing metal. It's something I enjoy learning and playing.
It's still in. I'm still in school, but I'm actually going to Navajo Technical University in Crown Point, and my major I'm going in for right now is culinary arts right now, learning how to become a chef and everything. And it's my second year right now. How I try to really balance it is just kind of just letting my instructors know and everything, just kind of giving them that, because it's funny because my main instructor, my chef, basically in class was one of the audience for Rock the Vote in Zaru, so he got an idea what I'm doing. So he was like, he's very supportive of everything I'm doing. So every time I have like a show I need to go to or anything like that, I let him know just straight away, But like my brother said over here, like knowledge is power and everything. Like it's always like school first, and if we can't make the show, we can't make the show. But yeah, it's just that real thing that you just had to really find a balance in, or it drives you crazy, It drives you crazy and all that, so, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree, education's really important, yeah.
We've had to cancel a couple of shows recently because they wanted us to go out to, like, somewhere near California on a Sunday, and it was like, I can't get the kids got school, I gotta keep that priority, and until he finishes, it's a priority, so.
Yeah, it's tough, I don't know. I graduated high school in 2004, but I wasn't in a band or anything like that. But the only thing I could relate it to was like my parents would take us to powwows. We would dance at powwows and stuff. But like during the school year, it's just you can't. Cause, we gotta like study, and we gotta like get to be at school Monday morning. Can't. Yeah. So, but no, that's really important. Yeah, to take school first.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You mentioned you guys like have a home studio.
Yeah, I have a studio where I make jewelry. I do a lot of higher end, a lot of artistic styles of jewelry. I use tufa casting as a way to make it, and I use a lot of contemporary styles. I do a lot of heavy inlay. I work with 14 karat gold. I work with a lot of higher end jewelry, and do like, of course, the Indian market, Heard Museum, ceremonial stuff like that.
Do you guys like record music out at home, your home studio?
Oh no, it's just a jewelry studio.
Oh, okay.
It's just a jewelry studio. Yeah, art studio. Yeah. We do have our practice room, but it's just mainly for practicing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And then I know it's a lot of the music that I heard the band Narbona was just online, like I think like YouTube and Facebook videos. But is there like plans to like put the music like on online for streaming, or?
There is. My main goal for this band in the beginning is to lay down the foundation, and like I said earlier, we're a band that's not just talk. If we're going to talk, we want to walk the walk, and I want to create a foundation of people to actually know who this band is, you know, and I want them to have trust and see this band. When people see us, there's a huge difference between when you see a local band and then you see us, because we take this professional on a professional level, and it's one thing that we really enjoy and we take pride in, you know. So we're currently we've been offered a couple places to record, but at this moment I think we need to start finishing up. I want to at least do a year of just nonstop shows and then go. So that'd be in August. We want to get into the studio and start recording as soon as possible. Okay. We get a lot of people who ask us that all the time. Yeah, for real, a lot. It's just, I just tell them right now it's you know, to run my jewelry business and then to run the band and then run home life, and then we take care of my parents, my elderly parents, so we live behind them and we take care of them, the land, the livestock. You know, it's kind of difficult to catch up and like find time to go to a studio. You know, our time is pretty it's pretty full.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it just I was just wondering, just because I don't know, I think just people, fans in general, like me, I like to collect, like, you know, physical like albums and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
Absolutely. I totally get it, man. I totally get it. But at the way things are going, it's like we're, you know, it's like we got the band, and then once we're done doing a show, like I'm in my shop making jewelry, and then I'm finishing orders. They're at school. Once we're doing that, they come home from school, they go straight to chopping wood, splitting wood, going out there watering the animals, helping their grandparents doing what they need to. By that time, it's about 6, 7 o'clock. By 8 o'clock, they're ready to go to bed. They have to get up at 5:30 in the morning. They're already in school, spending all day. By that time, you know, it's a business. We're really busy, man.
Yeah, that's understandable. Going back to kind of like the band's music, what are some of the, I guess, like lyrical like content, or what do you think what are like the band's I guess message or like artistic, like, I guess
one thing that I really wanted to make very important, especially with this band Narbona, is we don't want to get sidetracked into what's happening in the world. You know, we want to focus on what's happening in our community. We want to work on what's happening to the way we think and how we're able to deal with situations. The music we write about is about how to deal with circumstance and how to be a better human being rather than being upset and angry. You know, we play aggressive music, yes, but it's more of our way to let go. And one thing that we see out there is we see a lot of people who need help, you know, and we're not offering to help everybody out there, but we also don't want to contribute to something that's junk, you know, and the name that goes with Narbona, we know what comes with the name Narbona, and we want to sing about things that are real, things that have to do about our reservation, have to do with our people, our leaders, our elders, you know. That's mainly what we sing about, you know. So, do you want to say anything?
Oh man, well, like my dad said over there, it's just like, yeah, we try to really just try to write about the now and around us, basically, and everything like that, you know. One thing we really try to stray away from is like all the devil and satanic stuff that death metal is, you know, very well known for knowing to be. So that's one thing we try to really just kind of stray away from it for a little bit. But yeah, it's just mostly just the message of just knowing who you are as a person, and, you know, the circumstances with of the person that you are and who you're going to be. You know, it's just those type of things that we try to write about in our songs and everything.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I think you guys covered a lot of what I wanted to talk about. And then I usually like to ask, are there any like bands, local or national bands you think people should check out?
I think right now, for me personally, I'm really into War Motor. I like War Motor, dude. We played with them a few times, and they're pretty brutal, dude. They bring it, man. They have a certain unique sound that we like. But then again, there's bands like I'm always talking about the Guardians. We jammed out with the Guardians, and we're gonna be jamming out with them in April 8th. But man, those guys, they got it down. They can tear it up, dude. I really enjoy their music. Of course, Slayer, Hypocrisy.
Let's see. One of the big ones for national is like Morbid Angel, Hypocrisy, or Slayer, man. Those bands are like dynamic, and if you want to listen to something that's related to like looking out in the reservation, when you look out into the land and it's something dynamic, you gotta listen to something like Slayer, Hypocrisy, Morbid Angel. If you want to listen to something that's based on the reservation, is like what he said, War Motor. They have a different sound than people around here. They have a unique sound that's more defined. And there's another band, was it Testify? Shout out to them, because they have a sound that I didn't know was really around here. And when I first heard them, I was like, wow, these guys are really cool. But yeah,
they have a different message,
Yeah, they have a different message than everybody that's around here.
For me personally, it's like these guys said, Slayer and Hypocrisy. There's no getting around that, man. Like, those two just has like a huge influence on me. But one other one I would say would probably be Death. Death was just one of those bands. Yeah, Chuck Schuldiner, Death, everything about him, everything about that band. Just like I try to take an influence from that, especially how like Chuck sings and everything. Like I really try.
We cover Evil Dead too, so that's always on our set.
Oh, that's awesome! Yeah.
We honor Chuck, man, definitely.
Definitely the godfather of metal, man. Death metal, I should say. Like definitely, man. Like scales and everything. His everything, man. But local bands, War Motor and Guardians are definitely the two. And of course, Testify. Those guys are pretty rad as well. So yeah, those guys are pretty good out there too.
Awesome. Yeah. What's the best place? I guess people can find Narbona or check out you guys' music.
Oh man, right now, since we don't have any recordings or anything like that, Facebook is probably the best one. I work on the Facebook page. And I'm contacting most of the promoters, talking with different people on Facebook. I know a lot of people don't use it anymore, but that's the main one. If you really want to get a hold of Narbona, see us on Facebook. You want to see our local shows. You want to see little clips of us playing live. You want to hear what's going on with us. You want to hear about if we're doing a T-shirt giveaway or the show we're going at. Go to Narbona on Facebook. Yeah, go to Facebook. My son runs the Instagram account. He's not, not as responsive as he should be, but if you want us to want to get a hold of us, definitely see us on Facebook.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, thanks again, guys.
No problem.
Take us away. this is gonna be our final song, but this one is gonna be called Dark Wind.
Whoa!